Hey everyone, hope they're having a good day. My name's Andy. My channel's Finding Value. Today we're going to do our daily technical analysis update of commodities. We're going to work our way through the dollar yields, precious metals, and commodities and ETFs that I follow. I'm going to give you my financial opinions, and if you need help with anything, check out finding-value.com. There we go. We do have a discount going on. September is the discount code if you want 50% off the first month of your membership, for the monthly membership. Let's dive in. Let's see what's going on with the markets. So again, the dollar selling off today. So this was a reversal candlestick yesterday, and I knew it was close, and it did follow through. We got some more selling pressure today, and yields backed off. Like I usually say, weaker dollar, weaker yields is generally a tailwind behind precious metals. So the 2-year getting clobbered here on the short term. Now, if we back out, is this kind of a shoulder, a head, and some sort of other shoulder? It's not a clean neckline. I don't know. I think we're pushing it there, guys. But nonetheless, what we want to watch for is yields here. Are we going to get some support? Or are we going to blow through this to the downside with other candlesticks? If we blow to the downside, that means there's bond buying pressure. But right now, today, massive move in yields to the downside on the 2-year. We saw that also on the 10-year. I said yesterday this could be, maybe we could come back to this support line and then we'll have to see what happens there. But yes, we did sell off in the 10-year. And also the 30-year. So good selling pressure across the board, definitely a tailwind behind commodities and more specifically precious metals. The TYX-TNX ratio is coming on up. It means the curve is uninverted. Generally, when the curve uninverts and goes upward, that is a huge tailwind behind precious metals. We are at a very low location where buying precious metals or accumulating precious metals is generally favorable. And here's bond prices coming back up. We are finding support at that white line, and it does look like that could continue higher for bond prices. So bond prices higher, yields lower, and that's how they move. They move inversely to each other. Gold getting some tailwind today, baby. Looks like it's shooting the middle finger here at us, saying, all you doubters, do not doubt. We are heading higher. So if we continue with the yields going lower, we've broken that downtrend. That looks pretty obvious there. We are above support, and we are starting to launch potentially. This could be a big move, the beginning of a very big move potentially. Let's hope that's the case. Let's hope the momentum continues, but everything looks good for gold. And you could say that this is one big flag pattern. That's a continuation pattern. You could also say that this is a cup and handle pattern that's going to the upside. Guys, the move here can be gigantic. So precious metals look very, very good. Silver, also engaging launch mode perhaps. We're turtle heading out a little bit. What that means is just poking its head out above the trend line saying, hey guys, look at me. Now, does this mean that we are going to automatically launch? No, not necessarily. Calm down, everybody. We could launch. We could just run like no other. We could even pull back and do another kind of loop back around. It is possible. So again, we are seeing those yields come off. We're seeing the dollar come off. Those are all positive things for precious metals to move higher. To me, it looks like we've broken out of the long-term downtrend line. We are sitting on top of it. And now we're basically potentially breaking some of these last forms of resistance where things can really get moving. Platinum is also joining this mix, so it's across the board. All precious metals could get moving here. Platinum's got a little bit of a trend line that we've got to break, a little bit of resistance ahead of us before doing a full-on launch, but all of them are looking very good. XAU to gold ratio, we are getting support at this white support line trend line. We are bouncing higher. And again, the thing we want to see here, guys, we want to break this line here. Need to break this line for happiness for the gold and silver mining companies. That's our happiness line. That's where if you own gold and silver mining companies, you break that line that's up here. That is the happiness line. We will be so happy when that breaks because we're going to see a vast outperformance of gold and silver mining companies in relationship to gold. And we are at one heck of a low valuation down here. We are at one heck of a low valuation. CRB index also heading higher. Looking good, feeling good. Moving on up, and I don't see why that won't continue. Oil's looking strong. Net gas is looking good. It's looking good across the board, guys. We've broken out of this falling wedge. Get ready. Get situated in your positions that you like and just sit and let this thing bring it. CRB to S&P 500, we did get those yields in dollar to come back down, and stocks did surge today. So we could have an everything type rally where everything rallies together. I do think commodities they're going to put their flexes on at some point, and I do think that we are still going to go higher where commodities will outpace the S&P 500. So we could see an everything rally depending on what yields do. If yields remain elevated and start to increase, I think the S&P 500 is going to be a good strong headwind and commodities will outperform. But we could see everything rally too together. And commodities, I think, will still outperform under those conditions. GDX up, looking good. Nice strong day, nice strong finish. GDXJ also up, and that's above a trend line. Let me go to... Oh, I drew that trend line on a monthly trend line. That's on a monthly. We're sitting on top of that trend line, guys. We could break here at any second. So if the conditions exist, and it looks like people are positioning in here, I think we could see a big move in gold and silver mining companies. Here's the silver ones, looking fantastic. That's a bullish engulfing yesterday. Bullish engulfing means higher. And if we back out for SILJ, we still got to break that trend line to move. We break that trend line, guys. We're going to be doing some high fives. We're going to be doing some high fives, and you better be positioned in your favorite companies. There's a lot of good setups in gold and silver, especially those small silver companies. Lots of falling wedges, and I'll share all of that tomorrow in the midweek update on the website. Crude oil. Crude oil looking good. That is a bullish engulfing to go higher. So this thing looks fantastic. We should be seeing a move to the upside, hopefully very soon. I did put a fractal over that, and that fractal goes to a land that is far, far, far away. Look at that thing. And that's up in like the $500-600 range. If it were to repeat like it did last bull market, and this were the first wave, and the size of this first wave would equate to a $600 per barrel oil run. I don't know if that's what we're going to get, but that's what it is projecting. Nat gas. Nat gas being the beast that it is, the volatility, it's popped out of this little downward falling wedge, and we've been moving higher. Not a pretty one. I mean, it's an ugly little baby here, but you know what? It's up. But I like to see big green candlesticks, and we've got these ones that gap up in the morning and don't get much momentum throughout the day. XOP, yeah, you know me, we are right underneath the neckline still. Again, guys, this is projecting very big moves to the upside for oil and gas. We're about to break. You should be excited. to some extent, and you should be looking for potential investments or already positioned in it. If you've been a part of the website, we positioned a lot down in this corner. We were going into some pretty leveraged, companies that have a lot of leverage to this upside move that are going to go ballistic, goose. So it's looking good, and they're behaving very well. Those companies are. OIH also looking absolutely fantastic. We've got the downtrend line. Now we've got an uptrend move. A lot of the times the stock will kind of accumulate like this and then rip. This is known as an accumulation cylinder and can perform those same things, kind of like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then we get the break and the big run. I'm seeing this type of accumulation cylinders and all that stuff across the board. Lithium companies, natural gas, oil, etc., etc. They're all over the place. Uranium too. Big accumulation cylinders. So get ready, lock in those positions if you're playing this short term, and just get ready. Sprott Physical Uranium Trust down a little bit. We still got the full extended middle finger at us to everyone. But again, guys, not much selling pressure. That is good for continued move to the upside. Whenever those buyers come in and say, screw it, we're buying some more, they're probably buying right now. That's why we've got this pause here. But still looks good. URA just moving sideways, still looks fantastic. URNM, again, not much selling pressure here. Looks good. It's just moving sideways. Consolidation. We call this the stair-step pattern, where we stair-step higher on up. URNJ also getting that bloody nose stair-step pattern that I'm used to seeing. And the dailies, just a small little candlestick, guys. Everything's intact. Let's go. Let's go. Let's rip it. TAN, now I think some of these overall stock markets, they love the lower yields in dollar. So TAN ripping to the upside, up 4% today. Pretty good. And this could be a symmetrical pattern where we could see it rip to the upside here. COPX up 2.7%. Looking fantastic, guys. Feeling fantastic in the copper area. But again, we're still in the big picture channel that we've got. Lithium ripping it today. Loves the lower yields, just like REMX, which I'm going to show you next, and TAN. We're in these descending wedges, guys. This will break and move on higher. I know some people were like, oh, it didn't break. It came back down. We're just still in the pattern, guys. Calm down. Everything is still game on for a move higher. Wave one, pullback. The three little humps. We were going to break there. We came back. Boom. We're going to go. Looks good. REMX, same pattern, guys. It's the same thing. Double bottom. We've paused here, and this will break and move on up in a very big way. Now, we're just waiting for the right market conditions. That's all we're waiting for. S&P ripping it. This is unexpected. With the yields dropping like that, and maybe they're trying to prop this bad boy up. So remember, the Federal Reserve has been selling or buying bonds, and they've got a bunch, and they can come in and step in and buy if they want. Maybe that's what they're doing. They're buying bonds, dropping yields, and pushing the stock market up, keeping this thing up. They don't want it to crash. NASDAQ as well. That's why I do not short these things, because they've got a bunch of money called an infinite computer that can just click little enter, hit enter with a bunch of zeros on it, and they can push things higher. They can. And we're going to get an everything rally, perhaps. This here looks like a negative setup, but with those yields dropping like they did, boom, short-term move to the upside. Emerging markets loves the yields, loves the dollar dropping higher. Looks fantastic for emerging markets, and it's in a very good location in this right-hand side here. Be accumulating. XHB loving the weaker yields. Weaker yields, lower mortgage rates, higher for home builders. I want to say one thing. Warren Buffett bought a bunch of home builders. He is an insider, guys. He knows what the banks are going to do. Perhaps they're going to buy bonds or drop interest rates or something. And this is what we're seeing is people are positioning for that. So, these rich guys, they're all interconnected. They do a lot of front running of whatever the heck they're going to do next. But it looks like to me that this could go higher. We'll see. Moo also moving on higher, loving the yields, loving all that stuff, yields and dollar. And this does look like to me that we could be doing a little bit of a break here of this. And here it is with the retest, and this does look good to maybe launch here. That is your fertilizers, your ADMs of the world, Archer Daniel Midlands, and some of these agricultural businesses, maybe Bunge or whatever else you're looking at. So this looks really good. Copper hopefully can leave the station here. We're up about 1%. We're above support. Let's see if this thing can move. That's what we're waiting for these guys to really start to bounce off their support levels. Iron ore sitting in the holding location. I think this is ready to go, guys. Any second, it's ready to go, just like everything. There's your 3 consolidation humps. We are ready to go. We've got the increasing lows there too, squeezing up in the corner. Nickel down a little bit. I know there's been some weird stuff going on in nickel, but we're right at that support level. We've got aluminum up a little bit. Again, I think this is just squeezing up, getting ready for a potential move. Just be patient. Baltic Dry Index. This will go higher with time, the falling wedge, and it will go up. If we see copper go up, aluminum go up, the fertilizers go up, which they all look very good right now. There's no reason that the Baltic Dry Index isn't going to follow behind it. We've got Newcastle coal just ripping it to the upside here. It is delayed a little bit, but this looks fantastic for potential move to the upside. Coal is finding its footing. Stronger iron ore prices, stronger coal prices, stronger fertilizer prices, and a lot of the agricultural corn, soybean, wheat stuff is going to be good for dry bulk shipping. So get ready, guys. It looks like also that Bitcoin is sniffing this out and Ethereum, like money is on its way or something's going on with the bond market. But this is all sniffing it out as well. We have our support. You can see the wicks at the bottom there. And we've launched higher today. So everything across the board, guys, looks pretty dang good. We could see an everything rally here. What do I mean by everything? I mean everything. Everything. It could be across the board. And if yields continue to go, just slowly leak lower with the dollar, you're going to see an everything type rally. So this has been a part of the we'll call it the real estate cycle. You get a very tight tightening cycle that comes up. It'll pause, and I don't know if it's paused yet. Maybe it's just an early pullback. Maybe we still go higher for a while, but it could be a pause. Maybe they'll bring it down. Maybe the Federal Reserve has changed their mind. I don't know. Whatever it is, we had a big sell-off today, and you could see how the markets reacted with that sell-off. That will eventually come. And the assets will behave in the way that we saw them behave today when those yields do peak and come back down. So then the question is, how do you position when the curve's very inverted? Precious metals look pretty dang good. Now, does that mean that they're just going to rip this second? I don't know. No one knows what the short term is going to do, but I can tell you this. We're very cheap. For the curve is very inverted. We are sitting on top of patterns for silver, gold, and even platinum's looking good. Everything looks good, and I don't see any reasons why you shouldn't at least be looking at it. And I do think whenever those yields do roll over, this is gonna be a rocket ship because that's when they perform. That is their time in the sun. That's when they are up at the start line. They shoot the gun and they're off to the races. So you're getting a little bit of taste of it. I don't know if this is going to be, a sustained downward move in yields or not. It could be. And again, where they're positioned, I think precious metals are the ones to benefit, could benefit one of the most of that. and we can still see commodities go up too during these market conditions. So that's what I've got. I think we've got the everything rally kind of going on. Hopefully in the short term. Thumb up for the content. Subscribe to the channel. And again, guys, we're running that discount September coupon code for discount code if you want to join and get a 50% off the first month. You can bring your questions. We have question and answer session at 7 a.m. Mountain Standard Time on Saturday. I'll see you guys there. Catch you next time. This is Finding Value.